right now. Going good, bro. Yes. Send the link to people if you know they code in JavaScript or want to learn how to create applications in React. Um, so I think I'm just going to start now. Okay, I think voice is not clear. Going to set the filter to, yes, turn the ratio down. Yes, is it clear now? Is it clear now, Timur? Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, let's just move this to a new window, and I'm just going to start from scratch. So, closing this folder, and I'm going to create a new folder. In the projects. I'm just gonna go in Twitch. Okay. And I'm going to create a new folder called record, or we can call it bookkeeping. Yes. And opening this folder in here, and let's just create some files. So first of all, I'm going to open a terminal in this folder. Mm, like right click. Oh, oh man, that's not working. So right click, quick actions, new terminal add folder. And I'm just gonna run on npm init to initialize a new what do you say, package. Yeah, our package comes with this, so nothing fancy, just enter 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 and yes. Okay, and then I'm going to install two packages, React and React DOM, just because we are creating the application in React. Okay, and they're installed. So now going to create two files, index.html, and I am going to add index.js. First of all, we have index.html, just a basic HTML structure, and I'm going to add keeping, and over here I'm going to link that index.js file as type equals to module, and going to give it source. There we go. And I'm going to use this tool, parceljs.org. You can go to its site and see how easy it is to compile JSX and React and everything using this tool without writing any configuration. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run parcel index.html. And there we go, we have a server running at 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, sorry, that's not it. Didn't copy that bunch. Just gonna take that, copy, and I'm gonna paste that in here. Okay, we got our first server running. Now I am just going to create an element for our application to mount, and I am going to um, create a simple component just right now. First of all, we're going to import React from React, and then React DOM from React-DOM. And then I'm going to create a simple component and return something from it, like anything. Hello, dipshit. And I'm just going to render this component. Oops, sorry. React using React DOM dot render method, and going to give this component and get that element where we have to mount that component. Okay, refreshed, nothing happened. Reloading, nothing happened. Going to console, and using rand. Oh, sorry, I think that import is wrong. There you go. That is their dipshit. Okay. Next thing, we are going to style our application with Tailwind CSS. So going to its documentation. So just so you guys know, we are going to use this CSS to style our application. And let's integrate that first, like set up that. So I'm going to the documentation, and you just simply have to set up this using like install the package and run the command, and create a configuration file so it just watches for any classes. Now I'm going to create a new file, a um, styles.css, and I'm going to create another file, tailwind.config. I think it's JSON. No, it's, yeah, sorry. Oops. Renaming that, and let's install the Tailwind package too. So let's go npm I tailwind passing that parameter, D is going to add that package as a dev dependency here. So when you're compiling this in production, it won't get installed like it's an extra dependency. It is not required in the production. It's taking its time. And hello, okay, hello, 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 hello. Okay. Yeah, I'm just testing it a little. Hello. Hello. Okay, hello. I think it was the cable. Uh, is voice good now? Okay. Is it good now? Okay, I think it's good now. Okay. Oh, yes, it's good. Okay, going back to our endeavor. Yes. Let's see. Let's run parcel again, and let me just check. Okay, that's good. So running the parcel again. Now we just have to set this configuration. You just don't have to do anything. You can just copy this configuration and put it right here. So what this means is the Tailwind will just watch for all of these files. It'll just go into the source folder, which we don't have currently right now, and then it will go into that folder, and in that folder all of the folders, and watch for HTML and JS files to see if you are using the any of the Tailwind classes, and it'll generate that CSS. So we are going to place our all of the code into the source folder, and because that will just categorize our code, into a single place. I'm just going to create an app.js component in there, and I'm going to move this app component into that folder and export it as default from there. And also I'm going to import React over here because React is required. There we go. And I am just going to import that app component, app from dot slash source slash app, and render that in there. So just to check we are on the right track, and let's see Tailwind. So to do that, like generate that CSS, we will have to give the Tailwind this configuration file and run its command. So we're going to do that in our terminal over here. I'm going to open a new tab and run like npm Tailwind. I think that's a Tailwind. Okay. Tailwind CSS. Yes. Tailwind CSS. It's not npx, right? Yeah, it's npx. Okay. Next. And we are going to give it an input file, and that input file is our main CSS file, styles.css. And let's say we wherever we want to output that. So we're just going to do like styles-compiled.css, and it's going to compile that CSS for us and create a new file compiled. But we want it to run asynchronously and watch our file as we code, so we give it a parameter -watch. Oops, sorry, --watch, my mistake. And yes, now it's going to rebuild every time we change our code, just like this. So you see, we go and place a class over here, like I do text-ld, and it's going to rebuild it again like this. So last thing we want to do is, last two things, sorry, we want to add the Tailwind directives in our style.css, so it generates that CSS over here. And other thing is we have to link this file in our main HTML file over here, link, and styles.css, sorry, compiled file. And there we go, we have that here. Now I'm just going to test it by placing text dash to Excel, and we have that text into Excel. And we gave font dash mono, we have font mono, there it is, just an easy peasy. So first of all, we are going to give our HTML file the body, a class of bg dash not the bg. Oh no, I don't want that bg. So we're just going to place a simple heading in here, like we go h1, and we do class name text center, and we do bookkeeping app, and we have that in here. So I'm just going to give it text dash for Excel, so it's big, and I think font dash mono is good right now. Yes, font dash mono. Not like that, but it's okay. Font dash sans will be good. Sans not good, so mono it is. Okay, and I'm going to wrap this in header, and I'm going to give the header padding from top bottom, and that is going to be 20. There it is, and a bg of slate 100. Not working. Let's see, I think 200 will be good. Yep, that we have. And then we add a little bit description about our app, so text dash lg and text dash center. Oh, now I'm not going to give the two text center classes, I'm just going to give that to the parent, and we give it like keep your everyday expenses record over here. Okay, a little bit of margin from top. We're going to give it 4. There we go. That's good. Now, for the first thing, we have to add our records. Um, we will need a form for that. I'm not going to put everything in here in our app component. I'm just going to create a bunch of components and link them so we can reuse them and we keep the our source code clean. So I'm just going to create a new folder, components, and in there I'm going to create a new file, header.js, and I'm going to place this header component in here just like that. Import React from React, a function header, and it is going to return that header for us, and I'm going to export this as default. Now in the app.js, we are going to import that component from component/header and place it over here. Header. There we go. We got that header. Same thing. Okay. Now we just need a form to add our records, and to add our records, we are going to create a form. Not a form. I'm just going to create an like account, or we can create any kind of component like what should we name it? We should name that records.js. Oops, I created a folder. Let's not create a folder, and I'm just going to set this up like this. Okay, that is good. So let's just keep that down like that, and this will be like this. Okay, let's create another account, records.js, and in the records we again import React, and we export default a function, and that is named records, and it returns simply a h1 records, and we import that component records, and we place that or mount that over here. We do. Okay, that says unexpected token. Oh, we cannot return two components at once, so we are going to use React fragment, and that is going to save us records. Okay, in the records we have to place a container mx auto, and I'm just going to put everything in it. So, oh, sorry, that is not it. h1 records. There we go. It says it's not keeping it. Okay, there are the records, and I'm just going to give it the padding from top bottom of 4, and yeah. Okay, now we are just going to style this. I'm not going to put a lot in the styling, but just a little bit so we are on the right track. Text dash to Excel. It is records, and below there we are going to show a table of the records, and I'm just going to give it a class of table, and table, yeah, that it is, with the tr and td, with the like we are just going to create the records with the date, and something like we can put a number behind there, and just making this th, and this one th2, and we're going to put that amount over here, and we're going to put some action buttons over here so he can delete or edit it or something like that. So there we go. And in Tailwind, if you want to see something like how to style that, we're just going to, you can just come on here and search how to style something like display table. We got table dash header dash group, table row, table cell, that it is, and that's how it's styled. We can do that. Okay, we do table with full, and we do table row. Okay, table row, and we give each of these um sorry, we give these a class name of table dash cell. That is easy. And to give these a header look, we are just going to wrap them in a t head with a class name table header group, and in that we are going to place that row. It is. So we can style it later by like giving a bg slate of 200, just like that, and giving these a little bit of padding from top bottom and from left right. I think it's going to be px3. Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna add records later. We have to create a form right now. So we go over here, up here, and we create a form, simply a simple form. We add that in the div over here, and yeah, we create a div, and we give it a class of border dash simple border dash slate dash this, and rounded, and give it a shadow a little bit, and give it a little bit of padding from left right. Okay, py dash 8, and I think that border's a little bit gross. Yes, so, and giving it a margin bottom of 5. Okay, so we give a duplicate of that heading over here. I should not create this as h1. Okay, let's just copy that and paste that over here, and we're going to add a record. Okay, and there we go, add record, and I'm just going to notch it down a little bit, and first of all, we create an input of type text. I think not text. Let's create a number, and we do a let's just give it a padding of 4 and border of slate. Okay, border, and we do it full, and let's just turn down this padding, and we add a placeholder amount. We give the amount over here, and in here in the input we give mt 3 padding. Okay, and a button for add, and we style that button by giving the bg like teal or something like that, bg dash teal. 500 will be good. P dash 4 px2, sorry, py2, and text dash center, and text dash something like ld will be good, and rounded borders and shadow dash ld. There we go. I think rounded borders are not good, and let's just increase that padding. Okay, and let's give it uppercase and text dash white, and let's give it margin top of 3, something like that. And in the input we give text dash access. Over here too we give text dash access. Okay, so to add the record, we give the amount over here 23 and add that, and that's going to add that to over here. we are going to we will add something like mm, hey Sam, how are you? I just saw the message right now. Sorry, I was deep dive into the coding. So how are you? Shout out to you. Thank you so much for coming into the stream. Mm. Share the stream with your brothers if they want to learn React or something like that. I'm going to share my knowledge over here regularly. So thank you for coming, bro. Okay. I'm just going to we are going to add the description later, uh, or I think I should add that right now. So we're just going to add a text area, and I'm going to copy the same styles we give to the input to keep the aesthetics, and give it to the text area. And we're going to input a placeholder like description of the expense. There we go. So how do we add those in the record? Mm, to add those in the record, we are going to add use the state. And to use the state, we are going to do like call the use state hook and import that from the React. See, it automatically does that. And we're going to give our state a name of records and save that in records and set records. Okay. This is how we're going to change the records, like add those records in them. And this the records will be like a default array over here. And let's see, how do we add records? So to add the records, we need to save this input, like whatever user enters in there and whatever user enters in there. And how we're going to do that? And we're going to create other state variables for those, like this. Amount, set amount, sorry, set amount, use state, and default amount will be like 0, or we can do 1, at least $1. And and let's see what we can do. Okay, description, and we're going to set the description as empty. And we are going to output that description and amount in here as a default, like value. And default output of the value will be amount. And description is going to be in the text area. Okay. So that is like code is messing up a lot. So I'm just going to separate these like this, so we can see what is going on. And there we go. In the text area too, I'm going to take them to a new line, and yes, just like that. Okay, yep, separating those. Now let's reload. There's an error. Let's see. You provide a value prop to a form field without an on-change handler. Yes, we are going to do that. Now that's a warning. That's not an error. It's working, because you see when we reload, we see a default of 1 value, and that is coming from over here. That is coming from here. If I change it to 10, then the default value of the input will be 10. So let's change that back to 1, and we are going to implement the onChange handler. And that is going to be like when this input changes, and it's going to give us the synthetic event in the E, and we're going to take that and get the input value and set that to the amount like this. We're going to get that value from e.target.value. So when it changes, it's going to give us the event information in this E variable parameter, and we're going to access the target of this event. The target will be like input, because you change the input, and in that target we get this input value, just like that. So we change it to 10. There we go. So to see if the amount is changed or not, you can install the React Dev tools, and you can go to components over here and inspect this component records. You see that state, it is 10. That state is this one, this amount. If I change that to 100, that is going to change to 100. And how that is changing is oops, sorry. Okay, that is being changed by this event handler that we just wrote. So we're going to say we're going to do that same thing for our text area. We're going when the text area is being changed, we are going to save that information in our state, and that is just simply going to call set description, and we do target dot value, and there we go. That is setting in there. So when we click on this button, we have to save that um, record in our record state. And how are we going to do that? We are going to create a callback function for our button. We're not just simply going to write all of this code in here like lambdas functions. We are going to create on click event handler over here, and in that event handler we are going to call our callback, and that is going to be add record. Okay, so we can just simply pass that add record just like this. It's no problem. And let's define that React callback. So to define the callback, we will have to import use callback, and save that add record in here, use callback, and in the callback we'll provide our own function that will run whenever that button is clicked. So let's just test that our callback is running or not, and we can simply do that by adding record. Okay, we can click on add, and there it is, adding record. Okay, use the default value props instead of setting children on text area. Okay, in React we don't do it like this, like what we did over here. We can do it like this, default value, and that is going to be not the default value. We do value and we give description in here. Okay, yes, that's good. So adding, upon add, I don't think like we have to use the use callback over here because nothing is being changed it, and we don't have to depend on anything. So we can just simply create it like simple function, add record and a function, simple like that. We don't have to use the callback. So I'm just going to remove that import from there, and we can simply call that console.log adding callback. There we go. So click on add, there it is. And now we see like we have whatever the user has written in the one amount and in the description. We can get that in here. How? Let's see, console.log amount to add, and that is going to be in the amount, and whatever we want in the description is going to be in the description state. So we write like $10 I spent on Netflix, and I click add. There we go, we have that information in here. We just have to add that to our records, and we can do that by creating a record object. We can do that, new record, and I'm going to place a description in there using description, simple like that, an amount, and get the records, previous records in here, like creating a duplicate of previous records. We cannot change that directly, and pushing the new record in there, and setting the records back to our new records, like previous records, adding that. Okay, so let's see, in the components we go to the records, and we have this state as empty. So when I click add, okay, it's going to add that in here. It should add that. Okay, adding Netflix and set records to the previous records. Okay, let's see. Elements, console. Let's see there if there's an error. No, no error. And let's see in the components, do we have that record or not? Okay, set records, previous records dot push, a new record. We can do that by dot splice 0. Let's see, add. Oops, we have that, but that's not refreshing the component. Okay, we got all those records in here, but that's not refreshing the component, and that's because we have not implemented the use callback. And we can simply implement the use callback by doing this. Use callback, passing the function in here, and there we go. That's an arrow function. Okay. Now we add the Netflix or something like that, any description, add, and if we go to records, you see that state is being updated. I create a new record of $10, something like that, and click on add. There we go, we have the another record in here. Now we have to render those records beneath in there in the table. To do that, we are going to create a t body element over here and simply copy all this information in there and change the th to td, and let's put this in a loop. Okay, we are going to loop from the records and get each record in the loop and output that information in here. We currently don't have date, so I'm just going to output a simple um, empty cell over there, and in the amount we're going to output a dollar and record dot amount because we're saving the amount, and we don't have a description column in here, so we'll just have to add that. And okay, let's just copy that and paste. So description is going to come here, and in over here we can get the index of the record in that loop, and we're going to output index +1 because indexes start from 0. We don't have to output the 0. So let's see if it's working or not. So I go and add. Okay. Okay, oops, sorry. I'm not returning that tr. That's why it's causing a problem. And React also requires a unique key for each element, and we're going to provide the index as a unique key. Now, if I go and add that, okay, let me just reload. I'm going to add that description of our, let's just add that. There we go. We have that description here, but the layout is messy. It's messy because we don't have an extra heading in here of the description. Let's just add that. Okay, reload, and there we go. So we do add a record of $10 spent on Netflix, and there we go. We have $10 spent on Netflix, and there we got actions. We can add that later. And if I do add another record of $20 spent on the main bot, I click add, and we have that beneath there. See, that's easy peasy. Not that easy peasy. Okay, now we set the editing and delete functions, and we also add the date. To add the date, we have to implement React package, or just simply we can, I think we can just simply use input type equals to date, and value we set it to date, not that date, because that is, I think, a reserved keyword or not. But I think we can use an edate variable, and on change we can create a state over here, edate and set edate use state, and we set the default date like new date, today's date as the date, and let's set the default value to oh, it's already set, I'm sorry. Let's copy that class name and put that here. Okay, default date is not set. I think that's a problem. So without an on change handler and default value, that's not okay. I think let's use React date picker, and that is this one. See how it provides that calendar, and you have a lot of methods available to use, and we're just going to use that. So I'm just going to install this package and coming here in PMI React date picker. That's a save. Oh, it already does that. Okay, that is installed. And how can we use that date? We just have to create a state, and we already have that, and we are initializing with a new date, current date. We just have to use this component date picker, and let's see where it is being imported from. Okay, going to import the date picker, React date picker from oh, we can no, okay, we can just come down here and replacing this date, we can do React date picker, and let's provide it information, default values. We can provide that in the selected, so we can provide e date. Let's see how it's coming up. Okay, date is okay. Its styles are not being loaded, so we will have to load those tiles. And to load those tiles, let's see where do they have that information. Yep, they have it here. You have to import these tiles in your GS file. We can import that and a reload, and we have that calendar over here. We can select anything, but that is not being selected because we haven't implemented the on change handler right now. um let's implement that on change handler. Okay guys, don't forget to subscribe, because I will be creating more and more applications, and I'm going to create more guides and tutorials on little bit and complex things, so I think you should tune into that. um so we have to implement the on change handler, and that is going to be like this. Okay, on change, and that is going to accept a function, and we call set edate and give it our okay, that is going to give us the date in the parameter. Now let's try if it's changing or not. 25, yep, it's changing. And we're going to give it the same classes as we did to other elements, so it looks the same. There we go. And I'm going to add labels in there, just so it gets more easy to add the records. Label for amount and amount, and mm, we give it the ID of amount. So I add another label over here, label for date, and we give date. Okay, ID of date, and we give this a class name mt-5. Okay, class name mt-5, and I think it should be full and block. So just copy that, and I think I should do that with full block. Down here too, description, and we can simply say that over here, description, and give the ID description. There we go, we have all of that in here, and I'm just going to give a little bit more style just so it looks awesome. Yep. And font dash semi bold. Okay, I think semi bold not working. It's bold. Okay, bold is also not working. Yep, it's working. Okay, now we can set the date, and we'll have to save that date in there too. And let's input that date over here. I think it's called edate. So I'm just going to do that in here, date and edate. Okay, now we're saving the date too. We can output that date. Let's see how we can get the date back from the date picker. And let's check that. Um, okay. Custom time input, date range. Nope. Display. Okay, guys, I think we're halfway done, and I'm going to take a 3 to 5 minutes break, and then I'm going to be back. So just a break. Okay. Hello guys. Back. Back from back from the break. Let's get on it again. Continue from there. Let's see. How can we get the date? Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Oh, actually, let's try to console.log or just see what's in the state. Okay. In the records, I'm going to just simply add and check what is in the date. Okay, we get the simple date object, and that we can use as and we can use its methods to output the date. Simply, let's see. We come here, and here we have to output the date. Let's write a JavaScript expression there. We can do something like record dot or just simply output the formatted date variable, and I'm going to create that variable over here. So formatted date equals to, and we do record dot date dot get year. I think that's gonna work. So we just get the year right now. Okay. um let's create add. Okay, there we go, we got the year. I think let's do full year. That's going to give us the full year, and then a dash, and we have to get the month. So I think let's get the month over here now. Dollar and record dot date dot get month. Okay, there's our month. I think that's not working. Get Oh, actually, let's see. Const d equals to new date. So current date is this, like today. Okay, if I get the month right now. Oops, sorry, forgot the h. So it gets it gives us the month starting from 0. So we have to add 1 in there to get the actual month. Okay, and also let's add the date over here. So record dot date dot get day. Okay, there's that today's day. Okay, and that's 3/1/2022, and I think that's not today's date. Oops, sorry, that's giving us the week's day. We have to get the date, get date. There it is. Okay, I'm simply going to get the how table is. Okay, we haven't give it the table row group class. I think that's why it's acting like that. Row group, and there it is. Okay, so we go and add 20, and there it is. So after adding, oh, that's data. That's like a baby talking, saying data. Okay. So right now, when we click on add, we have to add that record and clear these inputs for the new record. So how do we do that? We do that in over here. Add a record callback. We set the amount to empty, and we set the description to empty, and we set the date to empty. There we go. So when I click add, it's going to be empty, and if I click add, it's going to give an error because it's adding the empty record to the records, and we don't want to do that. So we need to do some checking in here. To do the checking, we're just going to implement an if statement over here. So let's see if amount is equals to this, like it's empty, and no, or description is empty. I think description can be empty or not. Let's not do that. Okay, if description is empty and the date, date is not going to be empty because we implemented the React date picker, and it's and oh, I think the date is also empty because we set that to this, and that's not good. We want to set the date to today's date. Okay, so we just have to return. We don't have to do anything right now. Okay, don't add the record if it's empty. So we go and we click on add, and it's not adding the record because the description is empty. And if we add the description, there we go, we have that. Let's not set that to this, and let's set that to empty. Okay, that is good. So when we set the date to any other date, um, not today, like this, and add the amount and add the description, Netflix. I think I love Netflix. Yeah. And add that, it's going to set the date picker back to the default, like today. And that is good. That's what we did here. Okay, we get the new date. New date is going to return the today's date, and we're setting that to the date picker. So right now we just need a simple a thing like notification or something like that, alert that says like the record is added successfully. That is a good user experience, right? Because React is all about user experience and the front end, so we'll have to implement that. We have the libraries available. Let's search React Toast notifications. Okay, or I think I know a good one. Notify. Yep. Okay, it's Notify or Toastify. I don't remember. That is Toastify. I think that's a heavy. No, we don't want that. Okay. That is the. Yep, we want that one. So we just have to mount the notifications. Okay, and then call notify.show. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So we just go and install that. Okay. In the terminal we run npm I react dash notify dash toast. That is going to install that. Okay, that gave the error. Okay, it requires a 16 version of React or 15, and it's not compatible with 17. That's the issue, so we cannot use that one. Okay, let's leave that. And let's see about this. It's the React Toastify. Okay, how does it work? It's the okay. You mount the toast container and you call the toast from anywhere, and yeah, that is good. So let's do that. Okay, let's install that. Npm install. I think I should just clear that first so you can see. Npm I react dash toastify. Okay, that is installed. So I'm just going to close that and import that Toastify container up here. Import Toastify. No, sorry. Toast container from Toastify and mount that container. They say that you mount that container once, and that is going to contain all the toasts. So we're just going to mount that container in our app component. So we don't have to mount it in any other component, because if we create a lot of components, we don't have to do that in every component. We just call this toast method, and the notifications will be coming. I think that's how it works. Let's try that. So we mount that toast container over here, and in the records, and also I forgot about, like, we have to load that CSS. Let's load that one, and okay. Now let's go into records and import that toast function, okay, from Toastify. So when we add the record, we call toast, and we say like boom, record added. Okay, and I'll just add a bit of like emoji in there, but sorry, I don't have that in here in my MacBook touch bar. Okay, I think I want to add that emoji, so I'm just gonna go to text edit and it shows me emoji over here. Let's see. Yes. We add mm, that emoji in here. Okay. Yep. Yeah, that over here. Add it. Okay. Let's go to our application and add a record. I add $13, spend it at 20 on Netflix. Man, I should leave Netflix. We click on add and it's not there. Okay, let's go and see components. Toast was called, but it did not. Components. What is it saying? It's strict mode. Okay, we don't need that right now. Okay. Um. So it says you just have to call that. I think the toast container is should be in there with the component. I think let's try that. Okay, toast container. Remove that from here. And in the records, we import that container with this. And let's mount that container. Let's mount it up here so we can see what's happening. Okay, going back to the application. There it is, boom, record. I think that should be in here. So I click on amount 23 and add record added. Wow, that's really good notification. Oh man. So okay. Let's try that again with this. Should it work or not? Okay. Let's see. Reload 23. Add. Yeah, it's working. It's working. Okay. I think the code wasn't compiled back then. So whenever user clicks on add without like writing the amount or description, we want to display an error or something like warning. Okay, how can we do that in here? Um, let's see the documentation. Documentation is the best place. Yeah, it's the only place. Um, okay, we can set the position, we can set the auto close, and yeah, let's see here. We can set the progress position. Where's the type? Yeah, there's a type success. So, okay, we can set that to ever. Yes. So if the record does not have the amount or something like that before returning the call to the function, we can simply call the toast dot error and we can say please add amount slash description to add the or let's not make it too long. Okay. Let's see. Going back to the bookkeeping, we can click add and we have that notification. Please add amount description. So the last thing is like edit and delete the record, and how can we do that? Okay. So that is going to be a bit of an issue. I don't think of an issue. Okay, let's mm, let's try. Okay, so we add two buttons over here. Okay, we do a button and class name that is going to be padding of 2, text dash access, small text with edit written in there, and py should be 1. Okay, let's give it the background of blue and 500. Okay, and text dash white. Yes, and uppercase. Okay, that is good. And let's increase the padding to 3, and yep, that is good. And let's give it a little bit of shadow so we get that it's a button. Yes, on hover we give it the background of blue 600. Okay, save that. That's working. And to easily, okay, we don't want to add transition, so same goes for the button of the delete. Okay, so how do we, okay, let's do 23, add, okay, let's add a bit of a margin, ML1. Okay, so and there's a margin, and we first of all we implement the edit. Okay, how can we edit it? So to edit that, we can simply let's do a let's just simply load this data in this form and save that. I think that should be good. Okay, um so let's set a state. First of all, let's set a state over here, and that should be is editing, and set editing. Okay, and first it should be default at first. Okay, and when we click on this button, let's just format all of this. Okay, yes, and when we click on this button, going to the end, placing that in here, doing that for this, and to the end, this one too. So there we go. Okay, now in here we want to set an event handler. Click, and we can set our edit record, and we're going to give this the index of the record. Okay, and yeah, we can call that from inside, because we cannot call that directly. Okay, we're gonna have to define the edit record because it is not currently defined. So let's get up here and define a callback, edit record, and use callback. And here we're going to first set the editing to, it's going to take the parameter of the index, and we're going to have to set the index to that record, or not. We're going to have to set it to true, and let's set the editing, or let's set the edit record to set edit record, create a state variable, and initialize with it with an empty object. So we take that record from the records array, and set the edit record to that object. So we call records index. There we go. That is simple. And the edit record has already been declared. Wait, where is it? Oh, oops. These two are conflicted. So record. Let's do editing record. Okay, and we put in editing over here, and we call this same one over here. Okay, so let's do a condition over here. We can change it to this. We can say if it is currently editing, then we can output edit record, or we can say, yeah, we can say edit record, and if not, we can say add new record. So let's say we add a record of something, not going to say Netflix, and add that, and when we click on edit, it's going to say edit record, and we want to load these values in here, so we can update that record, right? So first of all, let's say we want to the amount, so we set the amount simply to that record. Okay, let's get that record out here. Okay, we get that, we have that editing record. So let's see, const record equals to records index. And let's not do that again and pass that in here as a record and set that amount to record amount and set the date to the record dot date and set the description to record dot description. So let's click on edit. There we go. We have that date and record. So if I want to go back, we need a cancel button over here. First of all, let's update this button. Okay. Or not update this. Let's create a duplicate. Okay, and render this one if we want to update the record. And how can we do that? We can do that simply by JavaScript expression, and we can do is editing. If it's editing, then we simply call this one, and if it's not, then we call this one. So I have to do this and this, and let's call update record callback in here. Okay, it's saying okay, we didn't finished up that curly brace, right? Reload. We got an error, invalid DOM property for. Okay. We give a label for over here, and that is saying warning. So we're gonna come back to it later. Right now, we need to come here and we click when we add a new record and do some previously date and add. When we click on edit, oops, there we go. We got the error. Update record is not defined. So we just come up here and we define an update record callback. Okay. So let's add a record and test. Add, edit. There we go with the update. Now we want to show a cancel button alongside it. So we can see we can cancel the button. Let's see. We have that. Yes. So we say if is editing, we do output a button with the same class name like P7 or let's copy all of this. Okay, I think that'll be good. Okay, button, and we don't want this BG teal. We want the cancel button to be simple as possible, and we do say sorry, we do say cancel over here. Okay, It says expected yes. And because we have not provided any else situation, we can do it say empty and yes. We cannot say text dash white, and let's remove that shadow. Reload. Okay, let's do amount 25, add, edit. We have that cancel. Now on cancel, let's say on cancel we provide on change. How can we cancel that? We can simply cancel that by on click, and we can simply do set editing to false, and we can do set editing record to an empty again. So let's click on cancel. We got that. Okay, let's click on edit, cancel, edit. Now upon canceling, we also need to empty these inputs. Okay, let's just come here and copy or cut this code from here, and we call cancel callback, cancel editing, and come up here and define that callback, cancel editing, use callback, and we do it here. Okay, and we do set the amount back to empty, set the description back to empty, and set the date to a new date. So let's go and do that again. Add, edit, and we do cancel, edit, cancel, edit, cancel. That's good. So now we will have to add or update that record when the update is clicked. We need to implement that. Okay. How can we update that record? Let's also pass the index. We need that index over here, and let's set the editing index in here using the state set edit index. I think that should be good. Okay, and we should not set the editing record to that, or we should. Okay, that is okay. Let's not get into that. Set the index. Okay, we can get that index over here. So we do that is edit index, right? Let's get the latest information of amount and everything. So first of all, we fetch the records into the records array. We do previous records or something like that, and we get that record. Let's do let, because we are going to change that, and in that index we need to provide the new information. We're going to provide the amount, description, and date as edate. Okay, so we're going to set the records back to these updated records again. And okay, let's see how it's working. We add a new record 23, and we save that record with the description. And when we go and edit, and I change the amount to 20 and click on update, okay, it's saying index is not defined. Oops, we need to provide the edit index in here, and I click on update and nothing's happening. Okay, we need to check why nothing is happening. So console.log previous records and updates. Okay, we got only the one. Okay, we have that 220 in here. Yep, it is updating. Let's update that to 23, and click on update again, and nope, it's not updating. Not updating down here. It should update down there. um let's see what's wrong with it. mm, okay. um we are setting the records over here using the callback. That is good. And let's just reload, okay, and try again. Amount 20. I think it should have been the compile issue. Add, edit. We change the amount to 3. Update that, and that is not updating. Let's see components, and in the components, let's see the records if they are being updated. Nope, they are not updated. Okay, that is updated, but it's not updated in that state. It is a totally different state. The first one is this one is the state. No, it's another state. Okay, let's update that to 3343, and let's see, not updated. So if we do it again like this, so it now is 343. Okay, what was happening right now? Setting the records, and also we're calling the set records, okay, to the previous records. Let's cancel that and add another thing. Add, and let's try this one. Okay, update, cancel. Yes, we need to refresh or something, like remount the component. Let's just cancel the editing. We can also call that callback over here, and let's reload and add those amounts. 18, description, edit that, and 2 or something like that. 19, update. There it is, updated. But we also need to show some kind of notification that we updated it successfully. So let's just go to the add record and simply copy that notification. There we have that, and show that over here. So boom, record updated. Okay, reload, and we do it again. 23, 17, add. There we go, and we added that. We create the description, Netflix subscription, update. We got that over here. Now amount again, and date is going to be 19, and description is going to be something like domain. Add. There we go. That is it. So we just the last thing we need to update is the delete method, and how are we going to implement that? We just have to create another callback in here. So we're going to call that delete record and use callback. And in here, we'll also accept an index, okay? And let's add that on click event over here. And call that event with the index. And let's do delete that, so we get the previous records, like records in this. And we do supplies. Okay, let's what is supplies? Let's come here. If we have an array with some names, apple, okay, mango, and banana. If I call supplies on this, it's going to take two parameters. Where should it start from? I want to remove the mango, okay, so I do one, start at the one index, 0, 1, And how much to delete? Only one. Okay, there we go. So if I see a now, the mango is removed. So we need to save, we need to do like call priv records and do supplies on that from the index and just remove that one element, and then we call that records and set it to priv records, like new records, something like that. That is the new records. And let's also call that toast and show something like record deleted. Okay, save that. Now let's test that 23 with 20 and something like Netflix. Add and let's delete that record deleted, but it's not updated. So we also need to update the state, and to update the state, it is doing something like mm, 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 mm. Okay, so we'll just do like set, okay, set editing to false. Okay, if something is deleted, we also have to set the editing to false. So let's add some record to $24. Add another one for, so just to confirm that the same record we want is deleted, we just click on this one as the FSF delete. Oops, no, it's not updating. I think they're not being deleted. Okay, let's see. Let's just console not log that previous records. Okay. Okay, amount, something like this. Add, amount, add. Okay, when I click on delete, we have only one left. And when I click on delete, delete, we only have one left. So why is it not updating? Let's see, we're calling that record state, and we are mapping those records over here, so nothing fancy going on. And let's react re-render component. Okay, so let's use the re-rendering. How can we do that? um Props change, we don't want to do that. And oops, I see what the problem is. We want to redefine this callback when the records change. So let's try it again. Add, delete, nope, not happening. Re-render with key, oops, yes, we got those key props over here, right? Yep. Okay, force re-render. Okay, React functional component re-render. Okay, yes, let's force update. Okay, so we'll use the force update hook. Let's see if we have that available in here. Yep, and we'll do update and use force update. It's saying not a function. That is really not a function, man. Okay, update the value by setter. Force update, use force update. Oh, okay, that is not a function. I thought that I just for a moment I thought that was a function. So it's just setting up the value. I think that's not it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, that is there's a library. Simplest way. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. Let's just set that const re render. Oh, sideway. Oh, you are so chubby. We okay. Re render and set re render and set that to use state false. Um, let's just change that again. So to re okay re render to not re render. I think that should do it. Okay, 23, 28, add, delete, there we go. We do 23, 20, we want that on Netflix, add it, some another amount, and with some little bit description, add that. And if I want to delete this one only, we get to delete that one. And we can edit this one back to something like this. There we go. That the application is working just beautifully. So that's it for today. Like that is a very simple application over there that we just build on React.js. And if we want to use this application without like doing all like not running this local server and each and everything, we can just build a compilable build a production thing of like this application. And how can we do that is let's just go to the docs of parcel JS and let's see how it builds our application production code. So we can okay we can uh, distribute that. Okay, so we do parcel build command and think yeah that's it. So we do parcel build. Okay, let's give it entry file HTML. It's saying okay, main the design file path. It's not as a compile bundle HTML. Okay, okay, I think we have to give it the production file. I have not used it for production, so production automatically optimize your application for it can be run using the parcel build command. Let's just do I think HTML in here and do it again. Must be yes, something like that. Okay, I got it. So parcel build, your build can be change the main field to point an output file rather than your source code. Okay, change the main field to point to an output file rather than okay. So we do a okay, we got the distribution array in here. Okay, we can just forget that. Let's just reveal that in Finder. And we can simply turn off parcel and everything like that. And we can go into the distribution folder and we got everything in here. We can just simply open that HTML file and that should do it. That's not doing it. Okay, I got it. So parcel build and we do dist slash index.html and fail to resolve. Okay, let's do index.js and we do okay index.html. Oh, I think I haven't tried anything in parcel doing the production thing, but I'll sure get it in the next or next live stream. So I think that's the application for today, and let's keep it simple, guys. And I think we'll build a blog application in our next live series, and I'll be integrating that into the Laravel because right now, if we add any record right now over here and something like this, and when I reload this application, all the record is gone. Even I restart the server. Okay, let's just restart. Okay, so when I add records like these and something like that, when I reload this application, all the record is gone because we are not connected to any kind of database right now. And let's in our next live video, let's do that. And I'm going to build a blog in the React JS, and we'll be saving that data in the database. So whenever we reload that blog, we can get the information from the database and save that. So till next time, it's Codepunk for you guys. So I think it's goodbye for now. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.